I was a cheerleader ever since I was a little girl. I started cheering for my school when I was 7 years old. When I turned 9, I joined a recreational cheer squad for about a year in a local town near my home. After cheering for about 3 years, I took a break from cheerleading and focused on dance. At the time, I never imagined myself cheering again. About 4 years later, my best friend begged me to try out for the All-Star cheerleading program where she was currently cheering. Finally, I said yes. Going into tryouts, I didn't expect to make the same team as her due to my lack of experience, and she was able to perform higher-level tumbling skills. That year, I became a part of Hot Cheer All-Stars and am currently still with the program 9 years later. As the years continued, I improved immensely and made a higher-level team every season. The ultimate goal of an all-star cheerleader is to compete at the Cheerleading Worlds in Orlando, Florida. In other words, it is the Super Bowl of cheerleading. Teams from all over the world come to compete against each other in different divisions. The competition is a bid event. Therefore, you must receive a bid at a previous attended competition in order to compete. The competition only consists of level 5 teams. The level of the team determines the different level skills you can perform: stunts, tumbling, jumps, and pyramid. There are also different divisions depending on how many athletes are on the team, age of athletes, and also gender. My ultimate goal was to compete at the Cheerleading Worlds. My senior year of high school and my last year of cheering was the first year Hot Cheer considered taking their level 5 team to Worlds. We wanted to compete in the small co-ed division, meaning our team would only consist of 20 athletes and only 4 could be males. We started the season with 18 girls and 2 boys. As a Worlds team, we had to work hard at every practice in order to prepare ourselves for competition season and ultimately receiving a bid to compete at Worlds. I knew I would have to push myself to do my best every practice and every competition. As soon as our routine was choreographed, it was time to start working. My coaches pushed us all summer and into early spring. Practices were tough.
Flame is the fire that fuels the dream, that powers the engine that turns the world. Passion is lightning that creates a spark that lives in the heart of a boy and girl. Everyone tries in their own way. Everyone lives for a dream. The stars in the heavens can tell you to believe is a powerful thing. Yeah, you gotta want it from the bottom of your heart. You gotta give it everything you got. You gotta live it and never let it go. Live it so completely, body, mind, and soul. Faith is the candle that burns inside. It stands all alone in the face of the wind. Love has the power to harness the stars and take us to places we've never been. Everyone walks through the fire. Everyone lives for a dream. When all that you've got is desire, to believe is a powerful thing. Yeah, you gotta want it from the bottom of your heart. You gotta give it everything you got. You gotta live it and never let it go. Live it so completely, body,
competition season started, and we had one thing on our mind: get that Worlds bid. We started the season with a few local competitions that didn't offer bids. Our first bid competition took place in early January in Indianapolis. We had an athlete get hurt during practice the night before the competition. She was part of my stunt group, so the pressure was on for me. We had to fill her spot with an alternate athlete. He was not even a member of our gym. We tried our best, but it wasn't good enough. We went home empty-handed. We had one more competition to get that bid. We practiced extremely hard the following month and attended Battle at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. at the end of February. We were all extremely nervous before competing because we knew it was all or nothing. We hit 2 beautiful routines both days and earned an at-large bid to the Cheerleading Worlds. Hard practices continued for the next 3 months as we prepared to compete against some of the top teams in the country. We now had 17 females and 3 males on our team. Rooms were booked, practices were over, and we were ready to compete.
Mission get dirty!
We arrived in Florida, checked into our rooms, and then it was time to practice outside in front of several teams. We did really well, but the following day is what mattered. Since we received an at-large bid, we were required to compete in prelims. This was the moment I have been waiting for so long. My dream of competing at the Cheerleading Worlds was becoming a reality. When I walked onto the competition floor, it was surreal. I took a deep breath and said, "This is it." Even though it was very nerve-wracking, I had a blast doing what I loved out there. We had a perfect routine. It was then time to wait for the results. We moved on to semifinals. I was thrilled to experience that feeling again. Once again, we hit our routine with a few small errors. As we waited for our results, my friends and I watched some of the best teams in the world. It was really exciting to watch live. When the results came in, we didn't make it to finals and placed 23rd out of 56 teams. We lacked some of the talent the other teams had. I was disappointed, but at the same time was so happy and thankful I got to live out one of my dreams. This event was meaningful to me because it was a huge goal of mine. It was my last year competing, and to be able to experience something that not all cheerleaders get to do was amazing. I will always remember not only the cheerleading aspect, but the trip in general. I was able to spend time in Disney with some of my closest friends. It was definitely a time in my life I will never forget.
When you look back on times we had, I hope you smile and know that through the good and through the bad, I was on your side when nobody could hold us down. We claimed the brightest star and we came so far. and no, they won't forget. Whenever you remember times gone by, remember how we held our heads so high when all this world was there for us, and we believed that we could touch the sky. Whenever you remember, I'll be there. Remember how we reached that dream together. Whenever you remember, when you think back on all we've done, I hope you're proud. When you look back and see how far we've come, it was our time to shine, and nobody could hold us down. They thought they'd see us fall, but we stood so tall, and no, we won't forget. Whenever you remember times gone by, remember how we held our heads so high when all this world was there.